my 4-year review of the 2022 Lowrider ST. First of all, this is my real voice, not AI generated. And these are notes that I put together, and I am not a robot. Anyway, Lowrider ST, bought it in 2022. This was the El Diablo model, which was part of the Icon series. They only made 1,500. This one is number 34. I think they number them. It's pretty much marketing gimmick. I've noticed that the dealers don't give me any value for it today if I were to trade it in, but maybe there are collectors out there that'll pay a little bit more for that. Don't know. Anyway, I bought Harley as my second bike. My primary bike was a Goldwing. I put 35,000 miles on that. This I bought for local rides and Harley Owners Group rides, and really wanted to experience just the whole Harley world, see what it was all about. I was in a club at the time with mostly Harley riders who had big loyalty to the brand, and they were highly skilled riders that could handle those big engines on any twisty road extremely well. So I was curious about it, so I bought it in 2022 at the end of COVID. Paid a little bit of a premium for it. A lot of things were going for a premium back then, and I won't do that again. But the special items that came with this bike as part of the Icon series were the paint job, which was done by Gunslinger out of, I believe they're in Colorado. I think they do the painting at their shop and then send it to Harley for assembly, and the Rockford Fosgate speaker system. Otherwise, it's the same as the other Lowrider STs. That paint job is very special. You can see that there are really at least 2 layers plus some sparkles on it, and I think the pinstripes are hand painted. So I can say after 4 years, I'm definitely not tired of the way this bike looks. It is a fantastic paint job. So that is really magnificent. They did a wonderful job on it. The other reason I bought this bike was it had the biggest Harley engine at the time, the 117, and it went on a little bit smaller frame bike, a little lighter. So the logic says that it would be really fun to drive, and a ton of power and good handling. The ST is it's fairly tight suspension, and I've never scraped a peg going around through the twisties. It handles very well. Another reason I wanted to try Harley was just the whole infrastructure. Harley Owners Group, I've been on a lot of local rides with a local hog group, and I've been out to 2 regional rallies. The regional rallies are very, very well organized, very well done. I find that if you want to experience a lot of different rides and places to go, it's good to join a group, whether it's a organized club or hog or something else. It's just been my experience that people who ride with groups put a lot more miles on their bikes for the most part. I know a lot of riders that just don't ever want to ride with anyone. The bike ends up being a ornament in the garage. I think the largest Harley engine today is the 121, and this 117 is still their standard engine on the road glides and street glides. And the reliability, the engine I've had no problem with. Been 2 or 3 recalls on the bike. Biggest one was for an actuator with the rear suspension, and that actually broke and damaged my fender, so they had to replace the fender. But Harley's been good about the recalls and standing by the product. The other recall involved just rerouting some cables underneath the gas tank. Not a big deal. So overall, a fairly reliable bike. Transmission, I had the clutch. I had the levers replaced with I think it's JP makes the smaller ones. My hands aren't all that big, and just a lot more comfortable with smaller levers. The transmission definitely has a Harley clunk to it when you're putting it in first gear. Definitely definitely feel it when you're shifting versus other bikes. Brakes are great. Belt drive. Harley seems to have good luck with belt drives versus chain. Limitations of the bike, it's fairly bare bones. I mean, it came with ABS braking and had LED headlight and tail light, but I had to put LED turn signals on, which the dealer actually paid for since they were getting a premium anyway. And the let's see, there's no link braking, no traction control, no rider modes. It does have cruise control, but and no heated grips. Had the dealer put those on also. And I'll never understand why Harley sells these big fairing bikes with little tiny windshields on them. This came with a very small windshield. I mean, if I get a fairing bike, I obviously want wind protection, so it's a shame to have to buy a new windshield every time if you're going to get a Harley. I mean, if Harleys are selling big expensive bikes with fairings, they ought to have an adjustable windshield on them. I think they are, and also this is an air oil cooled engine. It is not liquid cooled. I recently did a demo ride of their Pan America. That seemed to have everything that a modern bike needs today. That had everything. Quick shifter, it had the liquid cooling, had the linked braking system, had the 5 rider modes, had the lean sensitive ABS system, the IMU, had more shock travel, and an adjustable windscreen. I mean, if I were going to buy another Harley, that would be the one that I would get. I've never overheated this engine, but I've been in a couple parades, and I've been in situations when, super hot day, I was a little bit concerned. And I have been on group rides where I took the whole group of 10 riders up the shoulder of a highway because they were concerned about the Harleys overheating. So I don't think I'd buy another bike that is not liquid cooled. That just seems to be the way to go today. The light, the front LED that they included looked great during the day, but at night it was inadequate. I put the Shark Demon on it, which just really lights up the night. It's so much better than the stock light. Also, the stock light had a bracket that was always coming loose on it, and I was getting a whistle noise. I'm not sure if it was from that bracket or the windshield, but I replaced the light and the windshield, and the noise went away. Also put the Bung King engine guards on there. My view again is you're paying this much for a bike, it ought to have engine guards on it. The speaker system is terrific. Rockford Fosgate sounds great. Highway speeds, any speed. There's no volume control on the bike, but the speakers work through the Harley stereo app, which actually works very well. It adjusts the volume based on the speed you're going, and sounds terrific. They are great speakers. The only thing that can make mine better is to have 2 in the back. I know some of the bikes have that. My greatest fear when I'm riding is going through the wooded areas and having the deer jump out at you. I think it can only help if you got a noisy bike with noisy speakers on it. I crank up the tunes going through the wooded areas. I've heard that deer don't like Led Zeppelin. It has not been scientifically proven, but most of the time when I see deer, they're running away from the road, luckily, not running to it. I know that's a serious subject. I know people that have been hit by the deer, but my defense is to have a bright light and make a lot of loud noise going through the woods. The instrument gauge cluster is a small digital gauge, which is kind of different, but it does have all the information you need. It's pretty efficient. I don't mind it. The newer lowrider ST has the round analog gauges, which is fine. Exhaust system, I think the original is fine. Right away when I bought it, everybody wanted to sell me a new exhaust system. I said, why? You know, this one is a little bit more quiet at idle, and I live in a quiet neighborhood, so that's fine. And it has plenty of noise when it gets revved up at the higher speeds. The engine is definitely a rocket on the highways. You go from 6th gear down to 5th gear to pass somebody, and it just flies. It feels like unlimited power. And the suspension, as I mentioned, is very, very tight, as you would expect in an ST. If you're on a country road, you hit a dip in the road or a pothole, you do feel it. It's a bit jarring on the rear end. I would prefer to have a little bit more travel. I think it's about 3 inches on the rear. Again, I was impressed with that Pan America that I rode. It has something like 6 or 7 inches travel. Big difference. Big difference. And a lot of the modern bikes have the electronically adjusted suspension. So this bike was fairly bare bones, and some people think that's fine. But today, yeah, I'd rather have all the modern conveniences. Am I still happy with the bike after 4 years? Sure. It's been fun to ride. Never get tired of the way it looks or the power. In general, I recommend the lowrider ST. Yeah, there's a lot of pluses about it. It is low. I mean, I'm average height, 5'10", and boy, your feet are solidly planted on the ground. You're a lot less likely to drop this than some of the other taller bikes. And the engine you can't go wrong with. So, yeah, quick shifter is a major convenience on a lot of the modern bikes. But if you're comfortable with the standard, this transmission has been good. It has the old Harley clunk to it. Definitely feel it when it's shifting. Overall, if you want an all-rounder that you can go across the country in and more of a touring bike, there are a lot of others to look at. But if you're looking for a fun bike for local rides and local twisties and Harley rallies, this is a good vehicle to get. That's it for now. Thank you.